On the Fringe with Dan radio style. Hope everybody out there's having themselves a great day. As the adage goes in the song, you got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, know when to run. What's funny is the deep state doesn't know how to do any of that. Because here's the thing, guys. They have to win no matter what. No matter what. Now, here's the thing. I don't want you to think for 1 second I think they're going to win. No, I know they're not going to win. I'm 100% sure of that. I am 100% sure. I know how this is playing out. They don't have an option. Their path has already been chosen. It goes back a number of years. 2012, many suspect, was the key time when the time frames shifted and verged, and we are living through that separation. It's like, peanut butter and jelly sandwich stuck together, and you try to peel the two pieces of bread apart, and you see all the little strings of different stuff that are sticking to the other side that they don't belong on. Kind of what's happening. We're seeing the peeling apart of society. How this plays out, we'll see. We'll see. A lot going on with the election stuff. Again, this is larger than that in the big picture, but ultimately we're going to try to keep our microcosm somewhat fixated. But my God, Kamala Harris ruined herself, I think, and she's barely even started. She didn't help herself. And I think even more and more people are coming out of this malaise that they've been in and realizing, I don't think this is Kansas anymore, right? Toto, great band, but the dog, I don't know, didn't help much. That's all I'm saying. Senator Kennedy, some common sense words of advice for all of us.
Some people don't like President Trump, and I know some people don't like Vice President Harris. But I would remind folks that you're not picking a spouse here or a life partner. You're picking a president of the United States. And that decision, your decision, should be based on the candidate's policies and their records.
But what if they're pretty? But that's different. If they're pretty, that's different. No, he's 100% right. And we got to kind of sort of all come to this same conclusion, by the way. I can't just dislike all over Kamala. I have to have issues with her policy too, which I do. So it's so much fun. I have no qualms. But this really does go out towards all the people that are DJT haters. Again, that is kind of where the problem's going to lie with a lot of people. And there's going to be people that are so resistant no matter what because they just can't get over it. And I don't know. I know anger and hate are two things that are really, really bad for health. And if those people happen to have rolled up their sleeves a bunch of times too, I honestly wonder if they're physically, healthily going to make it. And for any people that have family members that fall into that group, I'm not trying to poke fun or anything. We are at a very interesting time in history that I think it's thought of hyperbole to many. And it's a change. I know we're going, it's an exodus, I call it. I still think that's what it really is. We're leaving a thing and going towards a new thing. And the world's going to really not resemble what it once was. It's a lot to believe. It's what I'm still claiming. Senator Kennedy's kind of reminding us how important it is for us to make the right choice. Now, again, for those that are sick, apparently there's help.
Are you corporate corruption, World War III escalations, and the chronic disease epidemic? Are you willing to elect someone who was the least popular vice? Common side effects of independence may include an awakening of rational thought, successfully identifying propaganda, freedom of choice, loss of hatred, anti-narcissistic behavior, and love of democracy.
I used to blindly hate whoever my party was running against. I didn't care about facts or policy because I was hopelessly indoctrinated. With independence, I'm much more interested in policies that uphold democracy, and I truly care about the health of our country and its citizens.
Ask your doctor if independence is right for you, and enjoy your freedoms once again.
Quite possibly arguably one of the best things I've seen. In fact, this reminds me, I was like, while I was doing this, I'm like, dude, you better download this. There we go. Yeah, this is a keeper. This is going to need to come back up in other times. Well done, whoever hell made that. But we're at those times right now. And I'm telling you, it made me think, I can't wait until we get far enough past where we are right now to where, like, I know a few of us, we're going to have some very candid conversations about what we knew, didn't know, where we were. There's just so many different avenues. It's so many of us, at least I think the ones that are bringing it from the right places. And I'm not trying to be overly braggadocious. It sounds bad. I know. But I can't wait to have conversations with you all. Like this, yeah. And I can't say, yeah. It's not like I have sources and shit. Don't take it wrong. Don't take it wrong. It's just there's a lot. There's many angles. It's very, very interesting. I think all of us that are in this game for legitness, we have very strong foundations that we are using, and this is powerful times. Powerful times. I can't wait. It's just gonna be so much fun. You guys are gonna love it. So we got way better times ahead. I'm telling you. We just gotta. Just step over across this little ravine. Anywho, Kamala's hub. This is one of the funniest things because you've got a group of people that literally do not love America. And you're trying to get them to get a chant going on, right? Like I'm like one of the dorks. I'll get a wave going just because I think it's funny as hell. Like because people just voluntarily will. It's so funny. Like, it's so easy to raise the energy in a place just doing something stupid like that. And all you got to do is just get out of your skin for a moment. Right? And you can do it. Doesn't matter. It's simple. And so you'd think, like anywhere in this country, you'd think, USA, USA, USA. Easy chant to get going. Easy chant to keep pumping up, right? Like, if you think about it, hopefully you've ever performed, you kind of get it, right? Like, yeah, right? Like, get into it. This guy, this is obviously someone that does not love this country trying to get a USA chant going on.
USA, USA. So... USA. You can say it.
That's it. They said it like, what, twice? Well, 1.5 times. 1.5 times. Yet when you hate the country, it's hard to hide it. Yet they try. Kash Patel, in less than 1 week, Nancy Pelosi's lies about the National Guard on January 6th have been exposed. Zuckerberg admitted to rigging an election by suppressing true information at the FBI's request, and the truth about the Afghan disaster, authored by Harris, Milley, and Austin, has finally come to light. How many Americans fell for these lies pushed out by the willing media? Where's the accountability from the fake news now that their narrative has crumbled? The real question is, will the media ever own up to the deception, or will they continue to label those who spoke the truth as liars? Now, really, in my opinion, and Kash, I love you. I'm just not disagreeing, but I'm actually saying the real question is, I would disagree with you, is not whether the media will cover it, but whether the new media does and we replace them, right? Like, why do we continue to think the propaganda arm of the deep state is going to somehow change its tune? It's designed to be the propaganda arm. CNN's the only one I wonder. Fox, I figure, will probably make it, but we'll see. It seems like Murdoch's doing what he should, giving it to the actual non-evil version of his offspring. I'm guessing. I don't know a lot about the gentleman that he wants to give it to, but I understand that the other three are suing him because he's changed his mind. That screams of what I expect it to be. Paul Sperry put this out. Disgraced FBI official Peter Strzok, who opened investigations on several Trump campaign aides under false pretenses, including fraudulent FISAs, has been invited by Hollywood's liberals to star in a new film, War Game. It warns of a more violent post-election J6 insurrection. They're already doing the messaging for what's coming. Now, here's the problem for them. Not as much us, but it sucks. Like, I still have images of those white Teslas that were just auto-driving. You remember that movie? That Obama was behind that. Here's another one, by the way. Another one. So they've had 3 of them. They've not done real well. The first one kind of did well, but everyone saw the ridiculous, blatant propaganda baked right into it. It was just everywhere. It was everywhere. It was like, it's like, almost got me with propaganda. Oh, shit, that one. Damn. They They come in with you not, and then bam, you get hit, right? Like, the white Teslas are just so funny. So War Game is coming. Well, I'm sure we'll hear about it, whatever. I'm sure it's horrible. It's going to make you and I look bad. Of course. DOJ lawyer admits FDA was wrong on the ivermectin tweets. So what? That's the thing. We went through COVID. I mean, he admitted, and it was like I think Project Veritas in this case, not O'Keefe, but still, whatever. If these guys can do some decent stuff once in a while, they seem slow at it. But yes, they got somebody to admit that, yeah, the ivermectin tweets saying you shouldn't take it, which one, they really never should have done. Two, was done to help push the vaccines forward. I mean, this is somebody that was an attorney for the company, the government. I don't know if it was Pfizer or which one of the companies was this guy worked for, but whatever the case was. They admit it. They're talking about it. And how do people fall for this? By the way, guys, I'm just going to give you a hint. I mean, if you're anybody that knows stupid stuff or wants to brag about stupid stuff, you probably, and you're talking to a hot chick, yeah, you're probably talking to Project Veritas or O'Keefe Media most likely. But Elon Musk is ready to go. He's got a couple case things going on that we're going to talk about. Posted by George. The judge overseeing Elon Musk and X's defamation lawsuit against Soros-backed Media Matters just denied their motion to dismiss. Media Matters could now be forced to pay back all the ad revenue X has lost. All of it. If they win, and what they're allowed to get from Discovery, and what's likely going to come from this, they'll go bankrupt, of course, but they're going after Giuliani right now. Think about it, right? So Media Matters is a huge company. Lots of money. So this might be really bad for the deep state companies. Again, we'll talk TRSlikescold.com. Okay? These types of things, by the way, affect the bigger picture. These are the types of little linchpin things that when you pop the big picture in a little way and it's like ripples start going everywhere, it F's up the economy in some weird, it's like the butterfly effect in the economy. This type of stuff can really wreck a bigger picture. So Musk kicking some ace right there. Judge tosses lawsuit alleging Elon Musk caused Dogecoin investors to lose billions. They just tossed it. I guess they were suing him and his electric vehicle company because he had talked about it or something, like he was trying to pump it up. Anyway, whatever the case was, I feel like they're going after him anyway in general, but they tossed that one. That one's done. Now we've got a new report that's saying the FBI failed to report child sexual abuse after having the child sexual abuse. Like, these are the people, just also keep in mind the Telegram thing, which we're going to get to in a second, right? Like, they're going after him because you're allowing child predators to do their thing. Yet our own FBI was told about the Olympic coach in the gymnastics, told about him, knew about it, and did not continue to protect. It's okay though, right? Like, I mean, these are the same government, same organization, same agencies that are telling us to trust them. Safest election we ever had, telling them to trust us, that we're here not two-tiered, we're here for the American justice system. It's like what I learned with HR and companies. No offense to any HR people out there, because I'm sure there's a bunch of you. But HR is not there to protect the employee. Just for all you guys that are employees, they don't care about you. HR is not there for you. They'll claim they are, but they're not. They're there to keep lawsuits from happening to the company. That's what HR is for. All right? They just do a lot of stuff that tends to be geared towards the people. This is the world we live in. The deep state has a totally different tier. We are taking them down. We are holding them accountable. It is happening. It's painful for them. And we're finding out about stuff that we didn't really know.
An FBI watchdog is releasing a new report criticizing the agency's handling of child sexual abuse allegations. The Inspector General already criticized the FBI's handling of tips related to former U.S. gymnastics physician Larry Nassar. Now, this new report suggests the FBI didn't properly address the issue even after Nassar pleaded guilty to sexually abusing 7 girls. ABC's Jack Date joins me now with the latest. And Jack, this isn't just about the U.S. gymnastics case, but how the FBI handles child sexual abuse allegations in general.
That's right, Diana. In the wake of that Nassar scandal, the FBI pledged that something like this would never happen again. The Inspector General, after that period, decided to take a look at more broadly at the FBI's cases in terms of child sexual exploitation. And what they found was not good. Of the 4,000 cases that they had during a period from October of 2021 through February of 2023, they looked at about 327 cases of that. They found significant problems with 42 of those cases that needed to be immediately addressed. In fact, in one of those cases, a child continued to suffer from child sexual abuse for a period of 15 months until agents then were forced to step in after they were notified by the IG that that had been overlooked. So very concerning problems, very troubling problems from the FBI.
Now, FBI Director Christopher Wray apologized to Larry Nassar's victims before Congress in 2021, saying there were people at the FBI who had their own chance to stop this monster, his words, back in 2015 and failed. And he added, quote, "It never should have happened. We are doing everything in our power to make sure it never happens again." So what does this report now say about the changes implemented at the FBI after Wray's apology?
So after Ray's apologies, the FBI did implement more training and throughout the Bureau for these types of cases. Going forward, they say they're strengthening their training and they're strengthening their compliance. One of the problems that the Inspector General found was not necessarily that action wasn't taken, but in many cases they failed to comply with their own internal, basically paperwork requirements to make sure that the actions they took were documented. So in about 47 of the cases that they reviewed, they found that proper paperwork or proper compliance wasn't present. And in about 50% of the cases, they could find no evidence that social services agencies that could also assist in these matters locally were contacted. And again, the FBI, for its part, says some of these issues are compliance issues rather than, but action was taken, but they just failed to document it properly. But clearly, the FBI these allegations are quite stinging and they're concerning, and the FBI is taking them quite seriously.
I'm hoping he had like an echo in his ear the whole time, and that's what it sounds like to me, by the way, when someone ahs and ums that much through a discussion, is it's like an echo, or you're hearing yourself talk, but it's like after, again, it's like delayed. Like, it'll mess with you so hard, and it is really hard to talk through that, especially when you're live and you know you need to. Anyway, I'm assuming that's the case. I'm just not trying to give the guy credit per se, but I am. I've been there. Oh, man, it'll mess you up bad. If you got that echo thing, it's tough to talk through. Been there before. It's brutal. Brutal. All said, we're all seeing it, man. These are the people that are protecting us, man, but they're attacking us is what they're doing. Telegram could face stricter EU digital rules as Brussels probes whether the popular messaging app, whose founder faces criminal charges in France, has more users in the bloc than claimed. Platform was thrust into the spotlight, blah, blah, blah. It's accused of failing to curb extremist and illegal content on the increasingly controversial platform. Because France was all trying to crawl up inside their butts and basically say, hey, well, this is up. We want information on these people. And they're like, no. Or they just didn't respond. Because, if they had credible evidence, or if they say, this Durov guy or whatever says, if there's pedophilia and stuff, hell yeah, we block that. We don't know. We don't want to see that going on. But we don't monitor direct messaging. It's like an actual form of secure conversation. It can be spun any direction you want to, but when you talk about freedom, that is freedom. Don't you want that? I mean, it sucks that people use it for criminal, but you can also use it for good. Or what's good and what's bad. And today, that's a funny thing. And shouldn't we be able to use the same tools? Because this has been approved by the State Department for a long time because they've been using it against Russia for a long time. Russia's been complaining about it. Now it's biting the deep state in the ass. And Russia's loving it, of course, and we are benefiting from it. There's almost 1 billion users, right around 1 billion users on Telegram. That's significant. Folks, we have the tools in place. They've been there, kind of. It's just been getting some of the other infrastructure to be able to push it out. That's been the hard part. Getting it in has been, I guess, pretty good for a while. Think about Napster, too, back in the days, man. I can't even tell you how much music I downloaded when it's good times. Good times. I'm sure that's illegal. I never did. I was totally... I'm twitching my eye. I don't know why that's winking like that. Russian government spokesman Dmitry Peskov told reporters on Tuesday that calls for users to delete sensitive messages on the app, including from the editor of Russia's state-run RT News, were utterly stupid. I hope he said it like cool, like that, utterly stupid. But he wouldn't say it British. He would say it in a Russian accent, which I, for some reason, feel like that's escaping at the moment. Because all these things react well to bullets. Anyway, Peskov added that the allegations against Durov, who was born in Russia but also citizenship in France and the United Arab Emirates, by the way, which is funny. If he sticks around, I'm still thinking that'd be stupid. He could go to United Arab Emirates and he wouldn't have to, he wouldn't be in France anymore. It'd be weird, you know? Shucks. Oh, the court date. Sorry, yeah, can't make it. Suntanning right now. You seen this body? Dude's rocking, by the way. Dude's so buff. Otherwise, there will be a direct attempt to restrict freedom of communications, and I don't know. We're going to see. This whole thing's going to be very interesting. What they're doing is obvious. I think, hopefully, to most people, and without saying too much, right? Because we're in a funny war, information war. But they took custody of a dude because he won't tell them the secrets. He won't give them the secret sauce. And he's like, dude, the recipe's secret. And they're like, no. Governor Ron DeSantis said VP Kamala Harris's tax on unrealized capital gains will tank this economy. He's 100% right, and it's stupid. It's ridiculous. It bugged me. My older brother was like fighting. He's like, yeah, it makes sense. I'm like, you are insane. I didn't yell that at him. I was screaming at him in my mind. It kills me. But anywho, at least DeSantis can say it without screaming.
I don't know what's going to happen with the national economy going forward. I can tell you, if you have somebody like Harris actually try to do something like tax unrealized gains, that will tank this economy. We will feel that in Florida big time. You will have capital flee from this country. And here's the thing. First of all, an unrealized gain, it's not even a gain until you realize it. I mean, values fluctuate. And so maybe you buy a stock, and in 2 years it goes up by 30%, but 2 weeks later it could be down 15% from that high. This is not something, until you sell it, you don't have on the open market. You don't. So the whole thing is ridiculous.
And the fact of the matter is, if we went down the unrealized gain side of it, then we'd have to be able to deduct on the losses. Like he said, if my stock went down 15% last year, then I get to write off 15%, and you, Uncle Sam, owe me a shit ton of money. First off, taxes are illegal. Okay, let's just start there, okay? Income tax, illegal. They had to make an amendment for it. Deep State, that was their version. That was when they took over. Like, don't even get me started on all that. Zeke, I'm thinking of you, buddy. I saw you smile. It's come to that, guys. We have to accept the fact that we got a private bank literally freaking in charge of us. A private bank. Well, it's not private. I mean, like, we sort of know of, like, the Rothschilds and stuff. We know they're somehow tied into it a little bit, right? Foot Locker bailing out of New York, moving to Florida. F you, Hochul. Trump, truth this. Kamalanomics. That's good. That rolls, actually. I like that. That's a good one. Kamalanomics. Say it. Say it out. I'm going to wait for a second. Kamalanomics, right? Like, it rolls. That's beautiful. It's killing the American economy. The new jobs report shows employment among native-born American workers fell by 1.21 million in the past 12 months, while employment for foreign-born workers, mostly illegals, it's skyrocketed by 1.27 million. So we've let go of 1.21 million American jobs, or American worker jobs, sorry, foreign-born, or native-born workers, which means you were born here. You're born here. It's a little different than immigration. It's what made this country great. Hell yeah, we needed people badly, especially back in the day. But there's a lot of people now. We don't need a bunch of illegal people. So they've replaced 1.21 million people that were native-born with 1.27 million people. That's more than. That's a growth in jobs that you almost can't take account for, that we're giving away to people that work probably for as cheap as possible. Probably. Though they're giving, and here in California, $125,000, I guess, a year, or giving them $125,000 to help buy a house. Now, I'll be honest. That is probably the equivalent of $30,000 in Oregon for a house, probably, I'm assuming, because houses here are not cheap. So 125 grand, I mean, that's barely a down payment, maybe. You still got to qualify for the mortgage. I don't know. They've probably got a separate thing there. All right, just Ronald Reagan. He had smart things to say. Says, we don't have inflation because the people are living too well. We have inflation because the government is living too well. That's right. It's not our fault. It's that the government's printing too much money, and it causes inflation. It's the government. It's when the Federal Reserve or Treasury or whoever, when one of them prints a bunch of money, that destroys the money for the rest of us. Like you're holding a dollar and the government prints a bunch of them, and your dollar just went, like Back to the Future, it starts getting faint, right? You're like, oh no, Marty's gone. Like it's, right? That's what happens. Folks, here's the good thing. I'll make sure this is refreshed. Fresh. 2501 is gold right now, which is awesome because it's gone down a little bit, by the way. Now, I want to show you something kind of funny because what I've been talking about is that I do, in fact, think we are in a bit of a funny place in the finance history. Now, we've had a few of these in the past, right? Certainly. Apparently, we had one back around 74. I'll show that in a second, around there, 74, 75. I think that was when Reagan got us off that standard for the gas or whatever he did. I think that hurt it first, and then things got better. And then there was the mortgage crash, 2008? And we'll see a funny spike there. And now we're seeing this weird kind of jaggedy upward movement, but there's always a spike. And we'll get there. Well, we'll get there right now. Here's the thing that's kind of a trip to me. And this is why I talk about what I'm talking about. This is why I actually think I'm helping bring a way for you to protect your wealth, your IRA, your 401k. You've been pumping money into it forever. Okay. This is why I believe this is actually a good place to go for the moment. I think you're going to actually make money, even with the fees and all the crap that has to come through those, right? Even with all that, I still say with the growth that's likely and is coming, will show. And if you time it right, so here we are at the bottom trying to get you to the place where it's going to kind of go to the top. And then we'll see. Hopefully we'll be kind of ahead of the curve then too, and we'll have a way to easily start to liquidate some of this. But that'll be the key, right? Or we get into a new currency altogether, which is what I think is going to happen, honestly. And we'll be backed by gold and silver, which you'll be an owner of. So you'll already be a step ahead of everyone else. You won't have to convert. You'll have converted already. It's powerful, okay? So I chose silver just because, I don't know, it's the cheaper one. I should choose gold, actually, but all right, we'll choose gold. What the hell? Let's do gold. I'm going to do gold because it's actually like kind of the more legit one because it's just worth more. All right, so this is cool. This graph right here, I wish I could make it bigger. I probably can. I don't know, maybe. We'll see. This graph right here, I think represents a day, all right? Let's do a day. So this is the price. The price of gold's down a little bit today. And so when you look at that from that vantage point, you're like, oh my God. And what I see is I see the fact that, cool, it's staying a little somewhat lower because I want to see some of you guys be able to get into this and buy some of it. But when you go out 5 days, it's all over the place. Up, down, up, down, up, down. All right, we're squiggly lines. Go out a month. Holy crap. Huge growth has happened this month, hasn't it? And then it went down, but then it went way up, and then it's gone down. That's volatility is what we call that. And it's not gold's volatile. It's the thing it's being compared to is volatile. Let's go out 3 months. All right, shit. It was not too bad until recently. I've been saying the top is tipping, by the way, right? You see this? This is like what I would call a foreshock of the earthquake. By the way, I should just put it up now, drslikesgold.com. I want this to make sense to everybody, by the way, though. Not just people that are, in a 401k or an IRA or maybe have some cash to get some gold and silver. But for those of you that are about to experience this with the rest of us, things are going to get interesting. I don't know what that means. Kind of, some, but not even close. Okay, this is only 3 months right now. And you see the, okay. So let's see what happens with 6 months. Okay, same thing. Something's amiss right now. There's a year to date. Okay, going back to Jan 1st. Okay, we're August 30th right now. 1 year, this is a trip. Now let's go 5 year. Oh, we had one back here in 2022. You know who was president? Oh, wow, the silver one's so much different than this, by the way. This is interesting. This is easier to show. And then we go back 2020, when Trump was no longer in office, we started to see a spike in the price of gold. Ran down a little bit. Wabam. Huge in 2022 after COVID, I guess, right? And huge right now. Here's the all-time. Right? So this one's a little different than silver. Silver's funny. It actually plays differently. But 2014, this is wow. I'm going to just take it real quick. We'll do the silver one just all the way out just because I think this is fascinating. So silver actually goes 78 spike. Silver, because it was tied to the money, I believe, right? Around then. I think that was when they took us off it. But that was 78. Huge spike in silver. 2008, huge spike in silver. Right now, numbers going up, and they're probably going to spike similar to that, but except bigger. Seriously, folks, if you're in their system, get out of their system. DRSlikesgold.com. DRSlikesgold.com. We've got a spike coming. Play the spike. Let's play the spike together. Get out of their system. Stocks are not going to, a bunch of the stuff you're invested in most likely is deep state stuff. If you've got somebody managing your stocks that you know, like personally, dude, do it. You guys can make a fortune. If you've got like a stock like Fidelity or one of these deep state companies that are managing a big giant slush fund of money, no, you guys are going to get screwed. You're going to get robbed before everyone else is going to get out before you guys. And you guys are going to be expected to pay for it. You know how they think. The rich will get out first. They'll all sell their stocks in order, right? The Uber top guy will get to go first. He'll get to take the highest gain. And they work their way down the pecking order. And then the rest of us, we pay for it. Get out before them. That's all you got to do. DRSlikesgold.com. DRSlikesgold.com. Let my friends at Goldco help you out. If you actually do qualify and have a 401k or IRA, I recommend using this form. Get it to pop up by acting like you're going to click off and have it pop up, and then put the data there. And if you qualify, you're going to get a free half-ounce collector's silver coin. It's 0.9999% pure. It's freaking awesome. It's worth 15, 16 bucks right now. Or 14, 15 bucks right now. What is it? I didn't even know it. I had it pulled up. I didn't even look at the dollar. Whatever the case is. Don't want to get it lost. DRSlikesgold.com. DRSlikesgold.com. Get out of their system before they get out of you. It's just not going well. Now, here, this one, I think sets the mood for this next bit of video. Because us, the nation, I think we're starting to figure it out. Us, the nation people, starting to get pissed. Us, the nation people, maybe are going to cuss a little bit coming up here. Us, the nation people, well, I don't know. Someone showed me I was going to say the joke. Someone showed me their C word, but I feel like I'm just going to offend so many people. But I wanted to because this was going to be what I would show, which it could be a chicken, though. That's really why I didn't.
It's been a long motherfucking week. And bitch, I'm gonna be at peace today. You done tapped on my nerve Monday through Thursday. But today will be fuck you up Friday. Try me if you want to. Bitch, try it.
I kind of feel that way. I don't know. I feel that way a little bit. A little bit. I got some great music picked for everybody today. Got a solid hour and a half of music. So much music, in fact, that I'm actually starting at 15 minutes early. Normally, I'm not going to change the time, and you get there, you don't. But we got a lot of good music. Doing Ladies of Rock. It's going to be fun. Trump campaign plays cleanup. This is okay. Let me preface this properly. Sorry, I got to remind myself sometimes. A lot of stories. Daily Mail. They put out a story. Daily Mail, can't trust. Just in general, they're kind of very liberal, all right? But they put some stuff out every once in a while, and they're kind of British, I believe. Trump campaign plays cleanup after former president told Daily Mail the Florida abortion ban needs to be longer than 6 weeks. So they're saying they played cleanup. Cleanup is the word they're calling. We're going to talk about what it was, what the cleanup was. Now, Trump basically, I don't know, there's a thing where how he's going to vote in this, and it's either more than 20 weeks or 6 weeks, I guess. And Trump's like, how about something in the middle? 20's too long, 6 isn't enough, basically. And that's kind of what Trump was sort of saying. But the Trump campaign felt the need to clean this up. Let's talk about that cleaning. Here's the campaign's message. It says Trump campaign statement on Florida ballot initiative. Quote, President Trump has not yet said how he will vote on the ballot initiative in Florida. He simply reiterated that he believes 6 weeks is too short. End quote. That was Caroline Leavitt, Trump campaign national press secretary. Now, at first, when I saw this story, I was like, oh, dude, they got to fire that press secretary immediately. You guys went and cleaned up anything with Trump? How dare you? How dare you? Right? And then I was like, then when I found it, I was like, oh, wait, hang on. This is what they cleaned up. Oh, I was like, then I was pissed at Daily Mail. Like I should be. See? The weird times right now, the way we're being manipulated, it's so strange. You got to paddle once to the right and then once to the left, man. It's crazy. You got to, I hope that analogy worked for a lot of you guys, because that's seriously, whew. Mike Pence, I am pro-life. I don't apologize for it. Bro, you totally are. You're a mess. You're a mess, buddy. And the fact is, you're referring to this Trump thing. You're glomming on, and all Trump's saying is 6 weeks is too soon. I, by the way, don't disagree with that. I mean, if you're going to do it, you're going to do it. So, I mean, what's the difference? I mean, is it when the soul comes in? I mean, like, really, let's have an argument. What's 8 weeks at this point? And again, I know you could use that argument to go out further, but I start to have issues personally when the heart starts beating, and there's like, you're like, oh, that thing is like kind of a living organism now. At first, it's just a tadpole. I know, I'm right. I know, pissing people off, but I think it's a very contentious argument that people need to have and make, and whatever the case is. I think it's cool that they're voting for it. Again, the states should decide, right? That's what's cool about where we are today. We might not all agree. We're not supposed to. Please don't expect us to. It's a beautiful thing. All right, migrants attempt to board a school. This bothers the big time piss out of me. First off, we're going to watch this whole thing because I hope eventually they tell me the answer to the question that I'm not even going to give to you yet. You'll probably start asking it all on your own. But this is amazing. Migrants attempt to board a school bus.
And now to a developing story out of the East County tonight. 2 school bus routes in the Hamul Dolzura Union School District were interrupted for 2 straight days after several migrants tried to board school buses. Our Sarah Legre has the story tonight.
Well, yeah, there have been 2 migrant encounters in the past 2 days involving school buses and young children here at Hamul Dolzura USD. Now, no one was injured and all students are safe, but parents are angry.
Your initial shock is you're helpless.
It's practice night for Nicole Cardinale and her son Apollo. It's the ordinary, but their morning certainly wasn't.
20 illegal migrants tried to get on the bus today at one of our bus stops.
Hours earlier, she got this email letting Nicole know her 8-year-old son was aboard his school bus heading to Hamul Elementary when all of a sudden...
Really confused. He said these adults, they weren't kids. He said, but they had backpacks on, Mom, and they tried to get on our bus. He said, and there was a lot of them.
The district confirmed 20 migrants tried to board the bus Wednesday morning when it stopped to pick up students here along its B route. That's when parents and the driver stepped in, keeping the migrants at bay.
It was definitely really scary.
It also happened Tuesday along Route A, shown here in orange near State Route 94. 3 men walked along the highway trying to stop the bus to, quote, go around their group.
Right. So, like a lot of people, you're probably wondering, okay, now they kind of give it to us, but you got to squint. You had to really know your stuff. First off, it's Fox 5, which means it's Channel 5, which means it's local to wherever the hell this was playing, which would mean you would likely assume it was in the state of California. You would not know that unless you, one, looked up Jamul Elementary School or whatever the hell it was. But the whole entire story, oddly, I feel like, makes it sound like it's in a foreign land. The name of the school even has like USD in it, which I don't know, I guess is United States District, like for the school districts probably, but it makes it sound like it's just like, it's out in Puerto Rico or some shit, right? Like, I don't know. That's what I don't know. That's where my stupid brain went. I hope a bunch of you guys did too. A bunch of you didn't. No, I know. Idiot Dan, I know. hey, come on, don't be mean. I mean, like, I say stupid stuff. That's partly entertaining, I hope. But Fox 5, like, you know. Anyway, so this was a great example. I just think of a lot of things, but effed up. Super effed up. Worst part, I did look it up. Jamul Elementary School. I was very upset because I had no idea. JD, So there you go. I figured some stuff out after the effect. But at first, I was like, wait, what? Yeah, it closes at 5. That's good to know. But it's out in Jamul, California. Right? Yeah, never heard of it either. Never. Anywho. Mayor in Colorado, by the way, just to sort of help a little up front, Mayor points the finger at the Biden-Harris admin as foreign gangs overtake an apartment building. We shared this story yesterday, how they were just walking around with guns, except one dude had a phone. Let's be honest. Yeah, everyone else had guns. But the one guy is like, no, yeah, man, well, who do you want us to, you want us to stop and see somebody? Yeah, like, I don't know what's going on, but it's very criminal-esque. It seems. Lots of guns. Not good. Again, love guns, think they're great. And I feel like I would probably answer that whole door thing a little differently, but, we all have our options available to us. But that said, door wouldn't have opened. Let me just say that. But this is insanity. We talked about it. But now they're blaming Kamala and all these guys. We get to see this play out in front of us. It's the best part. Harris campaign refuses to sign off on the muted mic debate rules. This is what Fox is saying. I don't know if it's true. I assume they're getting a leak from ABC or something. They're still in discussions with ABC. They're trying to get Trump to agree to stuff. Like, they want the questions up front. I guarantee it. I bet you that's 100% what this is, and there's probably some other bullshit. This muted mic thing makes no sense. You would, of course, want to mute Trump. I can't imagine Trump being like, I got to make sure Kamala's muted. Dude, he could talk over her in a second. I'm sure of it. Or her laugh, maybe he can't get past that because there's just like a frequency barrier, maybe. I don't know. It's possible. It's possible. I'll give him that. I don't think they're worried about the muting. I don't think Trump cares. He went through it before. Nah, whatever. Wasn't that big a deal. You can nail him with the time you get with the time. Well, it's so ridiculous. So Kamala's playing shenanigans. I think she wants the questions. She can't do this live. We've got examples. We're going to spend some time on it. I got a bunch of her video, by the way, from yesterday, and this is why we shouldn't have watched it live, because we're going to get all the chunks that we need. Trust me. Too many, probably, but chunks. Here's some of the chunks going. Here's Roberts. There's no policy page on Kamala's website, and they're like, well, that's no big deal. When's that ever mattered? Always.
$540 million raised, $82 million in 1 week.
But will you acknowledge that there's no policy page on her website? And so how do people
when
know
did we
what she
start
really
caring
stands
about
for?
policy pages on websites when every single time every time she steps to the podium, she talks about her policy in such a direct way that voters are responding. Those are the people
Can you tell me what her border policy is?
Say it one more time.
Can you tell me what her border policy is?
Oh, she said on day one she would sign the bipartisan border legislation that J.D. Vance and Donald Trump has taken credit for killing or not getting across the.
What's her policy on fracking?
She's going to introduce that.
Her anonymous
staffers
have said
so her
that
interview tonight should give her the opportunity to share whatever policy agenda she wants, and as the process goes along, she will continue to do that. Many people cannot tell me what Trump policies are on these issues.
What?
Drill, baby, drill is now the policy. What's his policy on the border? What's his economic agenda?
It's laid out.
I haven't heard it from the candidate.
This is the problem. You can't run a campaign.
Well, we haven't heard from the candidate, nor can you find it on her website.
We've heard her economic agenda.
You would think you'd post it on your website because, yeah, that is kind of the thing you do, in 2024, circa 2024. Oh, there's so many things to do. Well, you guys have endless pockets, don't you? You have all that Biden money, right? I almost guarantee they don't, by the way. Just keep that in mind because it's going to come. That's the only reason why I think the 25th Amendment's coming. I'm not trying to proselytize. I don't care if I'm right. It's an issue of I don't think legally they get his money until, and they need his money, until they get him out of it. If they 25th Amendment him, then there's probably some clause that it goes to whoever the person is or whatever. So we're going to see that play out probably. But needless to say, I feel like they called it out pretty decently over there. As pathetic as Kamala Harris cowers behind emotional support dog Tim Walz in her soft touch CNN interview, Kennedy reveals the 5 fatal questions the liberal network won't dare to ask. And they won't. And I don't typically like Kennedy at all. for weird reasons, I think. I don't know what it is. But the questions she brings up here are lovely. She says, 1, how did the White House coup really go down? Good question. 2, do you understand the economy, stupid? I'd just love to see someone call the runner-up for president stupid, no matter who it is. Trump, too. Call Trump stupid. I think Trump would lose his shit. For good reason. Anyone should lose their shit for calling him stupid. But the question's a good one. 3, what to do with a case of Afghanistan amnesia? Well, it's written a weird way, but I like the creativity of it. Yeah. What's up with Afghanistan? Why did a bunch of people die? 13 people, right? What happened? Shit, I lost it, goose. 4, the party is over, or is the party over? Sorry, which is funny. And how will Tim waltz his way out of this one? Oh, that's funny. Waltz his way out of that. That's cute. That's cute playing words. Yeah, his lying is pretty intense. So funny questions. I don't know why. Again, I don't normally like Kennedy, so I feel like I'm trying to bridge these gaps. Stephen Chung, who I think is kind of like Trump's dude in some way, right? Am I wrong on that? Anywho, he got reposted. He seems like he's always there. I don't know, whatever the case is. Readout from the taped CNN Kamala Walz interview. He says, already over. Short. She got jammed up. Maybe it'll make the final cut. What's kind of really funny is supposedly CNN, and they said it, is not releasing the audio or the transcripts of it. They're not releasing the total transcripts. They literally had to cut it at some point or whatever, or she said something so ridiculously stupid or so far off track that, because there's a deep state person in the back room. Kamala may not know it, right? It's probably literally like that, a booth or someone that's getting a live feed, or they're in a room someplace where they can see cameras and stuff and they can remotely say, no, right? Like that's something that's happening in someone's ear while Kamala is saying the stuff she's saying, right? It makes me think of in The Simpsons, the dude that owns the nuclear plant, like that dude and his little assistant. Like, I just feel like it's that conversation that happens, right? Like somebody's job sucks. Someone's job sucks. I don't feel bad for him. It's up there with Karine Jean-Pierre. Get in line. So Kamala Harris, it's an urgent matter to which we should apply metrics that include holding ourselves to deadlines around time. I'm going to say that again. That was a quote of hers. She's going to say it. I literally had to watch it. I'm like, oh, disclose.tv, you better not be lying to me. And then they said it. And I was like, okay. Yeah. Good. So Kamala Harris, part of her quote, it is an urgent matter to which we should apply metrics that include holding ourselves to deadlines around time. Deadlines around time. Oh, man, dude, she's good. I mean, she is like a rapper.
Generally speaking, how should voters look at some of the changes that you've made, that you've explained some of here in your policy? Is it because you have more experience now and you've learned more about the information? Is it because you were running for president in a Democratic primary? And should they feel comfortable and confident that what you're saying now is going to be your policy moving forward?
Dana, I think the most important and most significant aspect of my policy perspective and decisions is my values have not changed. You mentioned the Green New Deal. I have always believed, and I have worked on it, that the climate crisis is real, that it is an urgent matter to which we should apply metrics that include holding ourselves to deadlines around time. We did that with the Inflation Reduction Act. We have set goals for the United States of America and by extension the globe around when we should meet certain standards for reduction of greenhouse gas emissions, as an example. That value has not changed.
Now, that value thing, just keep that in mind, because that's going to be one of the criticisms that she owns and will own. But let the record reflect that the quote is not cut in any way, shape, or form. That's the brilliance of this one. This one lives forever. Not cut. Both sides of the quote are included. Context and everything. What do you mean, Kamala? You didn't mean what you said? I mean, my values have stayed the same. But what I meant, that what I said, what I'm saying, I said it now, not then. What I said now, I'm saying it right now instead of then. Oh, dude, you guys are going to see it. It's great. Good times. Good times. Tim Walz completely dodges the stolen valor question. Yeah.
Governor Walz, the country is just starting to get to know you. I want to ask you a question about how you've described your service in the National Guard. You said that you carried weapons in war, but you have never deployed actually in a war zone. A campaign official said that you misspoke. Did you?
Well, first of all, I'm incredibly proud. I've done 24 years of wearing the uniform of this country. Equally proud of my service in a public school classroom, whether it's Congress or the governor. My record speaks for itself, but I think people are coming to get to know me. I speak like they do. I speak candidly. I wear my emotions on my sleeves, and I speak especially passionately about our children being shot in schools and around guns. So I think people know me. They know who I am. They know where my heart is. And again, my record has been out there for over 40 years to speak for itself.
And the idea that you said that you were in war. Yeah. Did you misspeak as the campaign has said?
Yeah, I said we were talking about, in this case, this was after a school shooting, the ideas of carrying these weapons of war. And my wife, the English teacher, told me my grammar is not always correct. But again, if it's not this, it's an attack on my children for showing love for me, or it's an attack on my dog. I'm not going to do that. And the one thing I'll never do is I'll never demean another member's service in any way. I never have, and I never will.
Do you name all your dogs the same thing no matter what? Like, I mean, there's that, and there's just the whole, like, claiming to have done things. And you're like, no, I was talking to a bunch of kids after shooting, and it was like, it was the thing to say. Like, I used to war, carrying them heavy. Whatever, dude. Seriously, this is, yeah, we're going to do some of these at 1.2 speed just to help with the process, because I don't know if I'm going to be able to shut my face. Democrat Maryland Governor Wes Moore said on Thursday that he made an honest mistake, when he claimed to be a Bronze Star recipient. Claimed that he got a Bronze Star. Claimed, yeah, well, I mean, it's no big deal. Look, here's the thing. Everybody gets a Bronze Star, man, right? When you sign up, right? I remember in elementary school, they put that, it was gold colored, but it was kind of more of a bronze, I think, if you think about it. It wasn't gold. Come on. Gold is shiny. It's like, right? It's like when Pulp Fiction, when they open that case, right? Like, that's gold. It's bronze. So what? No, it's a friggin' big-ass deal to get a Bronze Star, folks. Huge deal. And he's like, yeah, I got one. Well, okay, I made it up. Yeah, okay, there's another just example of how they lie, in case you were wondering how they lie. Kamala blames Trump for border crisis and economy. Like he's the president that's running right now? Like, that's actually in charge? This is a weird little angle that they're kind of coming at this from, which I think is funny. This has all the quotes, by the way, from the show. So we're going to get into a bunch of these. Why hasn't she done steps she talks about already? Like, first we've had to recover right? Like, why hasn't she done these steps? You're in charge. You've been in charge. Why isn't this fixed? You keep acting like Trump's fault, and when you get in charge, finally you'll be able to take care of this, right? Like, well, huh?
So you have been vice president for 3.5 years.
Yeah.
The steps that you're talking about now, why haven't you done them already?
Well, first of all, we had to recover as an economy, and we have done that. I'm very proud of the work that we have done that has brought inflation down to less than 3%. The work that we have done to cap the cost of insulin at $35 a month for seniors. Donald Trump said he was going to do a number of things, including allowing Medicare to negotiate drug prices. Never happened. We did it. So now, as I travel in the state of Georgia and around our country, the number of seniors that have benefited. I was in Nevada recently, a grandmother who showed me her receipts. And before we capped the cost of insulin for seniors at $35 a month, she was paying hundreds of dollars, up to thousands of dollars a month for her insulin. She's not doing that anymore.
The universe is funny how they work in my life. But yes, this woman, just their total hurt. The fact that she's got to detach from Biden, I also think this is going to play into why she has the 25th Amendment, and whatever the case is, we'll see. It is what it is. Americans are looking for a new way forward, You've been in charge. Just reminding that, throwing that in there so I don't have to stop it in the middle to yell it.
When I look at the aspirations, the goals, the ambitions of the American people, I think that people are ready for a new way forward.
All right, you kidding me. Now, did I know in advance? Was I paying attention? Did it show me that that was only 13 seconds and I didn't need to scream at first? No, I didn't know that. I failed. Tim Walsh was asked about a stolen valor. We already played that. Yeah. There's two of these. I got a dog. Prices of groceries in America are too high. And somehow she's going to fix that with her price gouging stuff.
You are right. Prices, in particular for groceries, are still too high. The American people know it, I know it, which is why my agenda includes what we need to do to bring down the price of groceries. For example, dealing with an issue like price gouging.
You know, the thing that actually destroys every example we have of people that went to price controls, destroyed their economies, every single example of it, every one of them, that or it's a communist regime that's still just the central state just owns everything. With Walz, the biggest communist that ever existed, and Kamala Harris, the most progressively crazy, left-leaning communist individual we've had in the Senate, California. I don't know, just a few places. Sorry, though, she's really cool. Supposedly she's a lot of fun. If you, have a laugh contest, oh, dude, this chick will take it home. You will get the little trophy of, the little, whatever the trophy does. I don't know. I haven't seen the laugh trophy in a while. They won't let me come because I suck. Kamala gets grilled over flipping her positions on fracking and, all the things she flips on.
I want to get some clarity on where you stand on some key policy issues. Energy is a big one. When you were in Congress, you supported the Green New Deal. And in 2019, you said, quote, "There is no question I'm in favor of banning fracking." Fracking, as you know, is a pretty big issue, particularly in your must-win state of Pennsylvania.
Sure.
Do you still want to ban fracking?
No, and I made that clear on the debate stage in 2020, that I would not ban fracking. As vice president, I did not ban fracking. As president, I will not ban fracking.
In 2019, I believe, at a town hall, you said you were asked, would you commit to implementing a federal ban on fracking on your first day in office? And you said, there's no question I'm in favor of banning fracking. So yes. So it changed in that campaign?
In 2020, I made very clear where I stand. We are in 2024, and I've not changed that position, nor will I going forward. I kept my word, and I will keep my word.
What made you change that position at the time?
Well, let's be clear. My values have not changed. I believe it is very important that we take seriously what we must do to guard against what is a clear crisis in terms of the climate. And to do that, we can do what we have accomplished thus far. The Inflation Reduction Act, what we have done to invest, by my calculation, over probably $1 trillion over the next 10 years, investing in a clean energy economy. What we've already done, creating over 300,000 new clean energy jobs. That tells me, from my experience as vice president, we can do it without banning fracking. In fact, Dana, I cast the tie-breaking vote that actually increased leases for fracking as vice president. So I'm very clear about where I stand.
And was there some policy or scientific data that you saw that you said, oh, okay, I get it now?
What I have seen is that we can grow and we can increase a thriving clean energy economy without banning fracking.
Okay.
She's horrible. I'm not trying to make you believe what's not true, but that's my take where we're at so far. The root causes work that I did as vice president, that I was asked to do by the president, has actually resulted in the number of benefits. The way she talks. I don't know if this is one I even want to play. Yeah, this was the one that she repeats herself. We'll cover the first part that she does.
Another issue, big one, is immigration. As vice president, you were tasked with addressing the root causes of migration in southern countries and
northern part of Central America.
The northern part of Central America that affects the southern border of the U.S. Mm-hmm. During the Biden-Harris administration, there were record numbers of illegal border crossings. Why did the Biden-Harris administration wait 3.5 years to implement sweeping asylum restrictions?
Well, first of all, the root causes work that I did as vice president, that I was asked to do by the president, has actually resulted in a number of benefits, including historic investments by American businesses in that region. The number of immigrants coming from that region has actually reduced since we began that work. But I will say this, that Joe Biden and I and our administration worked with members of the United States Congress on an immigration issue that is very significant to the American people and to our security, which is the border. And through bipartisan work, including some of the most conservative members of the United States Congress, a bill was crafted, which we supported, which I support. And Donald Trump got word of this bill that would have contributed to securing our border, and because he believes that it would not have helped him politically, he told his folks in Congress, don't put it forward. He killed the bill. A border security bill that would have put 1,500 more agents on the border. And let me tell you something, the Border Patrol endorsed the bill. And I'm sure in large part because they knew they were working around the clock, and 1,500 more agents would help them. That bill would have allowed us to increase seizures of fentanyl. Ask any community in America that has been devastated by fentanyl what passing that bill would have done to address their concern and a pain that they've experienced.
So you would push that legislation again. I just want to ask
Not only push it, I will make sure that it comes to my desk and I would sign it.
Ah, man, a good buddy just got back from Boston. He cracks me up. Talking about how he's... I have a joke with the guys that we all hang out with on the weekends, and if they don't show up for like a day, literally, that's all it takes, and then I'm killed them off. Like in the group, I'm like, and that's just kind of a joke with all of us, but I do it with all of them. Like if you disappear for a day, like you didn't show up and you didn't tell us what's up, you're dead. So anyway, he's gotten back from his vacation. It was like 6 weeks long, and he's like, I'm coming back, looking forward to seeing you. I'm like, oh, and I said, wait, is this a ghost? And then he, of course, goes, I'm not dead yet. And I'm like, anyway, this has been fun. Yeah, all good times. It's the ridiculousness that I am with my own friends. I hope you guys appreciate it. If not, sorry. They're going to enforce laws all of a sudden as president going forward. She hasn't been enforcing laws, but she talks about how she did in California. I want to save us a little bit of pain because it's, again, Kamala's not good. She didn't help. In fact, what we found out, the bookies have changed the numbers. It is now favoring President Trump. Oh, this is about the book written by Trump. He's going to be talking about. Oh, no, sorry. Okay, yeah, there's another book. Book written by progressives is actually saying that even Kamala's not their friend. They don't like her. So she's having this division within her own party. That's kind of lovely to live through. So she's not doing well in that regard. Now, Team Trump put this out. Kamala spoke for just over 16 minutes and didn't even address the crime crisis in this nation. She spent a mere 3 minutes and 25 seconds talking about the economy, 2 minutes and 36 seconds talking about immigration. I hate to be the person that's like, stopwatch. Like, they're cutting it on the video, but still. Kamala campaign says she'll sit for a solo interview at some point before the election. At some point. She's literally someone that's supposed to be able to just like walk up to foreign leaders or take calls and be like, hey, nuclear weapons are flying? Hang on, let someone get back to you on when I can make an appointment. Huh? What? What, the nukes are in the air already? I got you. Let's talk tomorrow. We'll see how we feel. That's who we want. Donald Trump has become the favorite to win 2024. This is the booking stuff. So I guess the Trump odds of victory improved from 21 to 20/20. I don't know what this is. 48.8% before the interview to 20/21. I don't know what the hell that is. I've got a bookie friend. I got friends that bet a lot. They're the ones that taught me about the big, I think it is, right? Like I've learned about the house always gets a cut. So I've learned about that. But I got to ask about this whole thing. I have no idea what the hell this means. Betting is such a weird thing to me. I don't do it. I go to the casinos every once in a while. That makes sense, kind of. It's still stupid, but it makes sense at least. I don't know what the shit all that is. This is good. Never Trumper. This guy used to be, not anymore. I know I'm going to go long, whatever the case is. Check it out.
In 2016, you would have labeled me as a never Trumper, and I was. I was very outspoken at the time against Donald Trump. I found him to be very crude. I had a major problem with his moral shortcomings, and I just didn't understand why people would follow this man. In fact, when it came time to vote, I wrote in another candidate. However, now in 2024, I will be voting for Donald J. Trump. You say, why have you changed? What has changed your mind over that time period? One thing is record. So Donald Trump still says a lot of stupid stuff. I'll be the first to admit that. He tweets some things, says some things that just make me cringe. But I'm more concerned about what a person does compared to what they say. We've had a lot of politicians that say all the right things, but they don't do any of those things. During Donald Trump's presidency, we had a better economy. You can argue that all you want. The Democrats have been in power 12 of the last 16 years, and the economy's been terrible under their leadership. The 4 years when we had a Republican, it was good. And we didn't have any wars under Donald Trump. By the way, we can compare that to the other candidate, who we also have their record. It just baffles my mind. Everybody says, this is what she's going to do, and the change she's going to make. She's in power right now. We can compare record to record. And I'll tell you, I'll take Donald Trump's record any day of the week over what we've had the past 3.5 years under Biden and Harris. It's been absolutely abysmal. And to be truthful, I'm voting against some things. I am totally against censorship. You would think in the United States of America, we would hold tightly to the freedom of speech and understand that dictatorships take place under censorship and under controlling of speech. And that's exactly what's been happening or attempting to be happening under the Biden-Harris administration, and they're going to continue to do that. It came out, Mark Zuckerberg admitted, and he's not a conservative, that he was pressured by the Biden-Harris administration to censor vital information. Every single American should be strongly against censorship in any form or fashion. I'm voting against attacks on democracy. It's amazing that they say that voting Donald Trump in democratically, correctly, is somehow going to hurt democracy. But what they've done is they conducted a coup, and then they just said, this is your candidate, and placed somebody in that position without a single vote. That is what you should be fearful of. I'm voting against the people that have literally come out and said, you will own nothing and be happy about it. You know who all those people are and who they support and who they put their money behind? It's not the Republican Party. The Democrats are now a machine. And the person that they run, they trot out there as their candidate, is not actually the President of the United States. I mean, you ought to sue your brain for non-support if you think that Joe Biden has been the president for the last 3.5 years. He's just a figurehead. And that's the same thing that Kamala Harris will be. You say, well, why did they choose her? Because, let's be honest, the color of her skin and her gender. And they think that you're foolish enough, and it seems to be true because I scroll through TikTok too, that some of y'all are ignorant enough to vote for somebody based solely on the color of their skin and their gender, and totally overlook the fact that they're trying to take away your First Amendment right, your Second Amendment right, the fact that they're trying to censor you, the fact that they're going to tell you this is your candidate and you don't even get to vote, and you'll be okay with all of that because, woohoo, we got the first woman president. Surely you're not that ignorant. I'm also voting against the weaponization of our justice system. It should scare you to death that they use the justice system to try to do away with and get rid of and overtake a political opponent. And some of you are, again, are ignorant enough to use that in your little arguments on social media. Well, he's a convicted felon. Everyone knew that they were going to find him guilty. And if you just look at it with an honest heart, rational, bipartisan, you'll understand that those charges are phony and that was not a fair trial. And again, this is coming from somebody that I couldn't stand Donald Trump, but that scares me to death because it's him today who's going to say, if I say something that goes against their political beliefs and what they're trying to do politically, that it won't be me tomorrow. So for these reasons and many others is why I'm voting for Donald J. Trump this election cycle in November.
I mean, I've said it before. I'll say it again. I'd say it over and over. And I love it. I did not like Donald Trump. When he first ran, I was like, dude's like a reality TV show guy. I can't believe we have a reality TV show guy running the country finally. To me, it was hilarious. I thought it was the funniest thing in the world. But it was when everybody started attacking him. That was when I realized, that was when it hit me. That was like, okay, not that I woke up. It was just that he was the guy. I've been waiting forever for this moment. And that was the thing that boom, here he is. And I was like, dang, okay, got you. Time to game on. And got motivated, got angry, that was it. That's all it took for me. So many are catching up to the same thing. They're realizing the ridiculousness of where we're at. House GOP Chairman Steele, who cares? Subpoenas 5 Biden admin officials over Biden bucks. Yeah. So this whole Biden bucks thing, he's pulling in 5 people from the Biden administration because they didn't give the documents they were supposed to. So now they're going after him hardcore in the compulsory factor, which is a funny story around that you don't want to hear. MyPillow.com/OTF. Guys, they have a really cool Labor Day promotion going on. Nothing special if I sell mattresses, by the way, but I just think this is super cool, and I am literally amazed that they fit these into a box. A couple key things are powerful about this. One, free shipping on orders over $75. This mattress, over $75, guaranteed. So you don't have to worry about it. Who cares how they friggin' ship it to you? They're getting it to you. But the thing that's amazing, if you've got a mattress that's 10 years old, 15 years old, depends. If you got a good one, it's cool. If it's like one of those that you got a hand-me-down almost even, like seriously, get rid of it. There's special trash pickup you can do, or I don't know, if you live in the place where you just burn it, I don't know, go out there and burn it. I don't know what you do. Take it to the dump, something. But it is one of those things that you can just very easily have the trash people pick up a special delivery, big size thing, put the mattress out there, get rid of the old one, and get a new one. And the new ones are $439 right now, starting at least. Incredible deal. Just incredible deal for any of you guys out there. It's fantastic. And you actually have toppers, too. For those of you that have a mattress that maybe's got 10 years on it, but you don't want to get a new one yet, get a topper. You'd be surprised what that does for the big picture. And remember, you're supposed to flip mattresses. That's another thing to keep in mind, especially if you've got different sized individuals that sleep in the same bed. You know, one person's big, one person's small. Yeah, that's not going to work. You got to flip that stuff around. Make sure you wear out the mattress somewhat evenly. But they got a whole bunch of $25 stuff. You should go check it out. MyPillow.com/OTF. Coupon code OTF is going to get you some sweet deals. MyPillow.com/OTF. Get the best night of sleep you've ever had. All right, we got some Trump action to get into. First off, just a cool post, cool meme, cool. That's not. I don't know if it's a meme. It's not. Whatever it is, it's a post. Trump put it out. All right. It's got Vivek on there. He's got Coach Tulsi. He's got RFK Jr. He's got Vance. He's got Musk, and of course Trump is Superman. Dun, dun, dun. So cool. I don't know. Whatever. Here's Trump talking about the the IVF. He wants to pay for this. I think he's trying to go very hard at this one because they keep trying to attack him on it, and he's like, dude, I'm 100% with IVF.
IVF has been an issue that has become political. A lot of people talking about it. What's the Trump administration going to do when it comes to IVF if you get elected?
Right. Well, as you know, I was always for IVF right from the beginning. As soon as we heard about it, it's fertilization and it's helping women and men and families, but it's helping women able to have a baby. Some have great difficulty, and a lot of them have been very happy with the results, as you know, and what we're doing. And we're doing this because we just think it's great. And we need great children, beautiful children in our country. We actually need them. And we are going to be, under the Trump administration, we are going to be paying for that treatment. So we are paying for that treatment.
All Americans who want it?
For all Americans that get it, all Americans that need it. So we're going to be paying for that treatment, or we're going to be mandating that the insurance company pay.
I love it. Love it. Good stuff. Again, President Trump, Tim Walz is weird dude. This is kind of funny. Yeah, check this out.
You get a lot of those questions from Minnesota, but you get a lot of those questions because Minnesota, I mean, they picked this guy. He is weird. Right? He's weird. I'm not weird. He's weird. No, he's a weird guy. Weird dude. You know, see, they come up with sound bites. They always have sound bites. And one of the things is that JD and I are weird. That guy is so straight. JD is he's doing a great job. Smart. Top student. Great guy. And he's not weird, and I'm not weird. I mean, we're a lot of things. We're not weird, I will tell you. But that guy is weird, don't you think? He has it at a level that nobody can believe. A bill that every boy's bathroom will have tampons, okay? Hence his name, Tampon Tim.
Just the fact that he calls him that too, is I don't think Trump was Trump wasn't the first to call him Tampon Tim. I might have been one of his kids. I don't know. I don't know who got the credit on that one. That was beautiful. Just quick, Trump is talking about, I think in a book, this is where his book comes into play, that Justin Trudeau's father was actually Fidel Castro. Trump even assesses or insinuates or suggests or whatever, says that he might be. Unbelievable, Tim Walz completely dodges the stolen valor question. Why is this here again? Doesn't need to be. Yeah, it was a dodge and a half, though. Also, President Donald Trump stands a substantial risk of having to pay more than $563 million after interest and everything. This is the whole thing with Florida. They're trying to get around it. Not around it, but they're trying to get a different judge or court to get involved. That this is ridiculous. Try to get it to a federal court. That the state court going after him the way they are, he hasn't been able to get. It's like unconstitutional, basically. He's trying to say. We'll see what happens. The possibility that he could end up in jail. And then Jean Carroll's whole case is stupid too. Like, to be able to just literally go after an individual and make a case up, literally change your law so someone can go after him from years before where nobody remembers anything. Like, you can't have cameras. It's just, it's obvious what they're doing. I pray people wake up. I don't know. When people do, it's cool as hell. I just like, finally. Oh my God, that's awesome. Thanks, man. But when waiting for people to wake up is so much suck. It's so much suck. I'm a little, it's getting better, I guess, because we're waking, but sucks. Trump asked federal court to take over Bragg case weeks before sentencing. This is the one, I think, where he trying to get the federal court to get involved because of, quote, constitutional violations. I guess I was mixing the two, but still, similar enough in their own right. They're doing their legal shenanigans. We'll see what happens. I don't know. We'll get there. Jake Sherman put this out. When the House returns September 9th, they will spend the week voting on China-related legislation. This bill is going to include, which I don't like, it's got all this shit in there. I wish we could do stuff a little smaller, but whatever. End Chinese dominance of electric vehicles in American Act of 2024, Protecting American Agriculture from Foreign Adversaries Act, Protect America's Innovation and Economic Security from CCP Act, Countering CCP Drones Act, No Foreign Intelligence Interference Act, Foreign Grant Reporting Act, blah, 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 Act, Hong Kong Economic and Trade Office Certification Act, wow, Prohibit Homeland Security from procuring certain foreign-made batteries. Oh, okay. All right. Well, all those things are good. Got to get rid of that stuff. Texas sued by environmental activists over unconstitutional anti-ESG law. So Texas government basically said, hey, look, we're not going to invest in ESG kind of crap or companies that force that kind of investment only. We don't want that. We don't want that crap. We're, first off, an oil state. So some progressive, probably based out of Austin or Houston or whatever, sued them and said, you can't do that. What if I want to invest in those things and I'm here in my pension plan or whatever to those degrees? So whatever, we'll see it move its way through the networks, through the shenanigan courts that we call them. Israel military announced Friday that it killed 3 Hamas members, or Hamas members, including a senior commander, as its West Bank offensive entered its third day. Let's keep that in mind, third day of beating down some major people. IDF reported killing, Wissam Kazem, which sounds like a superhero, almost like a lightning bolt should be in there somewhere, I feel like. Described as the Hamas leader in Jenin, and 2 others attempting to flee. Oh, thank you for not putting the names. You guys are brilliant. I'm going to run before I have to talk. Israel Hamas agreed to a zoned 3-day pause for Gaza polio vaccinations. This just is weird. First off, NBC News, major red flag. Boosh, double flag, right? Like 2 flags thrown up. Now it's like, we're not going to blow each other up in 3 places. Only 3 places. We just want to, rearm 3 places? Get food in 3 places? I mean, I hope it's a good reason. Hopefully food goes in. For vaccines, though. Wow. I don't know. That's just weird. Venezuela reports total or partial power failure in all states. Apparently lost their power. And again, insider paper pisses me off because if you actually click on the link, it takes you straight to a site that says exactly the same set of words. No facts, no pictures, nothing at all. Former Georgia election worker seeks control of Rudy Giuliani's assets. Now, if you just say that like headline, who do you think, right? Who would, of all the people that are trying to get money from Giuliani right now, who would be the ones that you would suspect? I'm going to share with you what popped into my head, right? I don't know. I might have already interfered with you. That's why you have triple blind studies, and it's not. It's a single blind study. That's not even that, really. Kind of it is. I assumed the people that pulled the stuff out from under the table, well, they're the ones that are going after it. They're like, no, we want control of his finances. We want to be able to sell the stuff off. We want to get paid first. I have a feeling other people are going to want to fight that and not let these two ladies get their ridiculously large settlement that's causing the majority of the problem that's not even legal. Again, it's crazy because how did he affect their lives to the point of the many, many, many millions of dollars they're going to end up getting? Was it nail jobs? Is that what they add up to? I don't even know. NASA discovers an invisible electric field surrounding Earth and claims it's as important as gravity. This should scare the shit out of you. My favorite line in this, I didn't stay highlighted. That's okay. We had a problem. But my favorite part of this was this line that NASA or this, I think it's, Daily Mail. So again, shit newspaper. Always understand that what it's pushing is this weird sort of thing. But this is also just reminded me of like a major thing that's been pushed throughout our entire lives, that we're alone, that we're that God only created us and nobody else. And it's like, that's a really weird thing, like to think per se, like just to assume that just because a book says it. I get you. But just like after reading that, you should be like, that doesn't, I don't know. That just doesn't feel right. Like, that it doesn't sit right. God, talk to me, Goose. Talk to me, God. Talk to me. Like, that's what Top Gun should have said, but they had Goose. He didn't have to. He was already dead. He was like the hook, right? This is what they say. What's more, the researchers claim the discovery could even help explain why life formed here on Earth and nowhere else. I just think it's a weird little thing to plant in people's heads. I don't know. I don't agree with it. That's for sure. I believe that for sure. I think a lot of people are here from other places right now. Interesting times. I love you guys. I know we're talking crazy, but it's the way it has to go. We got a lot going on this coming week, I think, and weeks coming. We are into the hot zone when it comes to what's going on with the deep state and what they're going to try to do. The elections are going to be a huge problem for them. They're failing all over the place. Kamala cannot talk to people. They just had their first experience of it. And even with Walz's help, it went suckily. So we're heading into different times. The deep state's not doing as well as all the people that are like proselytizing about like, oh, it's going to be like this and this and this. No, most of those people are thinking the deep state's going to keep winning. They're getting rocked everywhere. Nothing's happening as good as they say. We are making way bigger inroads. And it's because of you specifically. It's you that's making this difference. You rock, bro. Or broette. We are kicking ass right now. And we need to keep doing that. We are doing that. And I guess we're going to, maybe find some of our friends. But we've figured out something that's more important than gravity. I just love the way this is playing out. It's so much fun. What I do love, though, in a weird kind of way, is we're doing this together. All of us. That's pretty powerful. Where we go one, we go all. It's on the Fringe with Dan Radio Style.